This is Constance, a brand new indie game whose development I have been following closely. 1 year ago, I picked up the game's demo, spotted the speedrun timer, and began practicing religiously. 2 months later, I routed and completed a world record hitless speedrun, which, as I found out a few hours later, was not in fact the world record. I've since speedrun Constance's demo casually, losing interest and then picking it back up again 1 or 2 months later, but steadily whittling down my times. But on November 24th, the game launched, and boy was I excited. I bought the game and spent the next 3 days playing. What, you thought I was going to take my time? I speedrun the demo, heck no. Anywho, this game is beautiful. The graphics are amazing, the music is top-notch, and the story tackles real-life issues like depression and burnout. And now I've arrived to bring this beautiful game to YouTube, so enjoy! Our story begins with a basement dweller, relatable, who falls asleep quite literally before waking up in a strange, colorful world. God, this game is pretty. After ignoring the voice in my head and missing several easy jumps, I leapt across the lightning flowers and strange threads of light came down from the sky and ripped the ground out from under my feet. Wait, is this a game about depression or psychedelics? I'm confused. Anyway, I waded through the sewers before meeting a nice flower lady who gave me an ominous message in a paintbrush, which I decided to use as a weapon. After demolishing a few inconvenient walls, I met a nice little key to— Oh shit, what the fuck? That was close. I continued into a strange room and hey, it's Mysterious Flower Lady again, with some encouragement and an inspiring message. And a respawn point. That's pretty helpful. Taking a short rest, I forged onwards through equally mysterious and unhygienic rooms until I found a conveniently placed easel. On my way out, I met a goofy little walnut head dude who pointed me in the direction of civilization and promised me great deals when I met him in town. Leaving the moody sewer dungeon, I discovered a neon-lit hodgepodge which was just as welcoming as the sewer. As I ascended, I came upon a place to rest. That's definitely not ominous. Having fought off the robotic intruders, I met with Neolardo, the mayor of this settlement, which was fittingly dubbed Janky Junction. I told him that I wished to leave this treacherous, albeit pretty hellscape, but he explained that he could do very little since their train was wrapped in glowing threads. But he directed me toward the Foundry to the north, where I could find a tier? Kinda weird, but okay. I headed up into a foundry that's floral. Makes sense. Now, this is the part I speedran in the demo, so it went by pretty quick. I collected a new ability and headed inside. Running past the sentient elevator, I headed up, braved the treacherous parkour, slayed the sentient cube of junk, and returned without a scratch. The elevator kindly opened its doors to me, and I ascended even further to the Citadel's peak. Soon I arrived. The rain pattered outside, and a mysterious figure stood there just behind a locked door. Turning the other way, I entered what I distinctly registered as a boss fight room, and encountered my first new boss, Brian. Oh. Brian's boss fight is pretty simple. He has 4 phases, which he cycles through until you beat him. First, he launches projectiles from the walls in different patterns, which you have to dodge. Next, he calls out a wave of robots which you have to kill. Then, 3 of the 8 charge points in the arena randomly light up, and you have to paint stab them while he tries to kill you with a deadly laser. Once you have done this, his compartment will lower and you can hit him. Finally, he brings down walls of lightning which you have to dodge by finding the safe zone. Got all that? Too bad. He does this repeatedly, cycling through the phases until you can kill him. Now, being the god gamer I am, I made quick work of him and beat the boss fight first try. Now, I'm not going to spoil this part of the game because it's really amazingly well thought out and I'd like you to experience it for yourself. In short, this game talks about mental health and burnout, and the scenes that play after you collect each tier allow you to experience Constance's life and struggles for yourself. Leaving the corporate fever dream, I awoke to find a woman standing over me. She explained that although her tier wouldn't help with the train situation, there were other people called mentors who could offer me their tiers. Hey, what's this? Okay then. Freshly filled with determination, I left, and since all roads lead to the sewer, I returned to my stinky home away from home. Delving deeper thanks to Paint Stab, I came upon the next mentor, Emily. I don't like you. Anyway, after a short conversation, she pointed me to a pile of trash and told me to start digging. I knew it!